Welcome to Reading Between the Headlines. I'm your host, Asaf Nisim. Let's get to some headlines. Headline number 1. Kevin De Bruyne to miss Manchester derby in blow to City's Premier League title hopes. What are they going to do? It's just not right. Who could they possibly field in place of Kevin De Bruyne? It's over! It's all over! Yeah, we're all feeling really bad for City right now. Make no mistake, Kevin De Bruyne is a special player who can make all the difference in a difficult situation. He's on another level. But I don't even think City fans feel bad for City right now. And I'm pretty sure City went the entire start of the season without him until January 14th when he came off the bench against Wolves. In that time, they lost 4 matches, drew 4 matches, and won 26. Not a bad record, not to mention the fact that they beat Manchester United without him in the opposing fixture back in November. Headline number 2. 10 things we learned. Zaha has earned his big move away. Klopp's Reds won't crumble like Rodgers' side did, ooh dig. And maybe, just maybe, Manchester United gave Solskjaer the job too soon. Wait a sec, when did you learn these things? It took you until now to realize that Liverpool's the real deal? That's gotta be something of a joke. They've been frightening since day 1 this season. But more importantly, they've been doing what they've struggled to do in the past, which is win low-scoring games by small margins. Everyone knows that by scooping Alisson and Virgil van Dijk, they've managed to shore up a defense that has unquestionably been their Achilles heel in seasons past. How are you realizing this just now? On to Zaha. The kid has been a monster for quite some time right now. Every time he's on the pitch, he manages to do something that literally sends chills up my spine. It's just a small bit, but check out this turn and blow by he executed on Maitland-Niles this week. Here we go. Pass to Zaha. Turn. Oh my God. I mean, Niles is no slowpoke. He is a seriously quick athlete. But Zaha makes him look like Mark Noble the morning after a long night out. I may be off, but for me, Zaha has everything except strong focus. He often breaks ankles, beast modes defenders, only to make the wrong decision in a great position. Against Arsenal, he was awesome. And far be it from me to criticize such an exceptional talent, but he could have scored more. Look at this little clip. He's basically in and doesn't have the presence of mind to just touch the ball into space and run onto it. But I digress, because at the end of the day, Zaha is a special player. He's still only 26, and while I love Crystal Palace having so much quality, being another one of those giant killing clubs, when he's not killing my club, it still feels like he has to move on in order for us to see everything he has to offer the beautiful game. On Solskjaer's United, there are a slew of headlines, as you might expect. I said it last week, I'll say it again this week. Credit to him for giving the United faithful a great run of results at the start of his managerial campaign, and for quite some time into it. And I can understand being a United supporter and wanting Ole to get the job. He's a club staple. He's a really likable guy. He seems to know how to talk to players, how to motivate them. But if you were a neutral and you weren't scratching your head when United decided to appoint him to the full-time position, then maybe you got a little too caught up in the hype. Is anyone else sick of the ridiculously short memories people have? It's like we can relive the same course of events time and time again, and people act as if they're happening for the first time. You don't assume a manager is going to be a great fit for a team if they start their tenure with a great run of results, especially if the performances aren't remotely convincing. While I don't think anyone was shocked at the appointment, they could just as well have waited till the end of the season. Headline number 3. Chelsea want Barcelona star Coutinho to replace Hazard as Belgium gets set to join Real Madrid. This one has been on and off for a while now. So all signs, as per usual, seem to point to Hazard leaving Chelsea for Real this summer. Coutinho's is an interesting case. He's only 26, and after a really breakout season with Liverpool 2016-2017, rolling into an excellent start to the season in 17-18, he made a huge money move to Barcelona for £146 million. Barca was desperate to replace Neymar. Was it a success? Not really. He's been playing somewhat limited minutes relative to his price tag, sharing the pitch with 21-year-old Ousmane Dembele, and his numbers are at least a step below what we expected out of him when he left Liverpool. It's safe to say that going to Barca kind of wiped his name off the radar in world football. You just don't hear his name as much anymore. Having said that, I still believe he's got more to offer us. He's got that Brazilian flair on the ball, and he actually holds it up quite well for a little guy. Not to mention, he's got an immense penchant for a golazo. I'm sure you remember his worldie against Man United. It was pretty hard to forget. Let me throw it up there real quick.
Final pass. It's Messi's pass to Jordi Alba. Coutinho goes for goal. Scores stunningly.
But he's also a really smart player. He links up well, plays for the team, and has that creative ability to unlock stubborn defenses. The question remains, can he replace Eden Hazard? And well, the short answer is absolutely not, but there is a longer answer here. One thing I believe he has that Hazard lacks is that killer instinct. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Hazard. Who doesn't? But he just seems like too carefree a player sometimes. And that to me is maybe his single weakness and arguably a strength in some circumstances, but that's a longer conversation. Chelsea have a long road ahead of them, and maybe it's time they give Coutinho the stage. Headline number 4. Ayoze Perez plays down talk of Newcastle exit, but admits he will have summer options. I can't say enough about this young man right now, and this weekend really was the culmination of a terrific season for the 25-year-old. We can talk about stats forever, but truth be told, his stats this season aren't that much better than they were the last couple seasons for the Toons. Granted, 2 seasons ago they were in the championship, but stats really aren't everything. And it's a cliche for a reason. Sure, there's no question they can be compelling, but you have to look at the man on the pitch in order to really understand why he's getting so much attention right now. Well, the recent hat-trick certainly doesn't hurt, but he really looks like a player's player at the moment. He does everything and leads by example. Every time there's even a sniff of a chance, he is barreling towards the opposing goal. It's worth mentioning that Salomon Rondon is also having a bang-up season, and if it wasn't for him stepping up his game, I'm not sure the attacking forwards at Newcastle will be getting this much joy. His stats are better, his hold-up play is astounding, and for that, the reference point he offers is invaluable to players like Perez. So while I do think Perez can take that next step, and I do believe he has the character to improve that much more, clubs could stand to wait a little bit longer to see how he pans out. And maybe he'd do better to stay on Tyneside just a little bit longer, especially with such a great manager like Rafa Benitez. Headline number 5. Emery tinkering exposes a glaring lack of depth in his Arsenal squad. Yeah, I'm not sure I totally agree here. Emery, for me, has been sensational this season, and one of his key features has been precisely his willingness to tinker. His willingness to find the best solution for every situation, and the fact that he doesn't shy away from bold moves. I think fans love that about him, and so far it's suited him quite well. In a season highly transitional for so many big clubs, I guess we're getting used to that. He's done really well to completely transform a team, as well as get the most out of so many underperforming players. In the article, it says it shows a lack of depth in the squad, and then relates it to Manchester City. That's like saying Sergio Aguero isn't that great because, well, Messi. They're both Argentine, right? He cites the inexperienced midfield combination of Guendouzi and El Neni. Guendouzi, how do you say that guy's name? He cites the inexperienced midfield combination for not being able to adequately support the forward line. Maybe it was a gamble playing El Neni, but Guendouzi has played almost 2,000 minutes in the Prem this season, and he's done exceptionally well. He's pretty much a stalwart. Xhaka, Ramsey, and newcomer Suarez are all injured, so there is that. Mkhitaryan and Torreira were on the bench. Are they not experienced, capable midfielders? Can they not support the line? I just don't agree that what happened here is that, Emery is tinkering like he's been tinkering, and because Arsenal have a lack of depth in the midfield, they weren't able to get the job done. No. Crystal Palace brought it and sunk Arsenal. Headline number 6. Tottenham consider selling star playmaker Eriksen to Real Madrid in order to ease debt of new stadium. If this is true, what in God's name are these people thinking? I get that Tottenham are investing a lot of money in this new stadium, apparently over £1 billion, but Spurs fans cannot be happy about this. Not only are Spurs by far the lowest spenders of the big 6, but they're going to sell arguably their best player outside of Harry Kane. Not only is this a player who has delivered season after season of compelling stats, but he is also a very, very well-oiled midfielder into this Tottenham setup. He connects all areas of the pitch. According to his teammates, he never runs out of energy and is a crucial reference point for everyone else in the squad. You can't just go out and buy one of these players. It would take a long while before a player could come in and connect all the dots. If Spurs have the ambition that they have been touting for years, then they have to keep Eriksen. You get the feeling that there are all these pieces now, and they haven't brought in new pieces. And the second you take out one of these pieces, the entire tower is going to fall. It felt that way when speculation over Pochettino's future arose, and arguably that's a little bit more significant, but it might be that serious if Eriksen goes. I still don't get how selling him is going to put a dent in the investment they're putting into the new stadium, but Daniel Levy is as shrewd as they come. He hasn't let the club down yet, so let's just see what he has in store for them. Headline number 7. Maurizio Sarri set to rest Olivier Giroud for Chelsea's clash with Burnley despite impressive form. Now, I have to say that I am currently shooting just after the Chelsea-Burnley matchup. But I was looking at this headline just before the game, and it piqued my interest. This ongoing situation with Giroud, amidst all the other drama surrounding Chelsea this season, is one of the more painful ones for some Chelsea fans. I could get into the whole Sarri debate here, but I'll leave that for another time. What I will say is that I think Sarri needs more time, and the critics that are slamming him now are saying essentially the same things they said about Pep his first season, and now they are eating their words. FYI, if Sarri's Blues win the last 3 matches of the season, they'll be just 2 points shy of Pep's tally his first season. If they win the Europa League, that's 1 more trophy than Pep got his first season in the Prem as well. Both are not implausible. But I digress. This is about Giroud. And here I think it's important to note that I do believe that this may be Sarri's biggest mistake this season. He seems to be staunchly committed to the belief that Higuain has still got it, that his slow start is due to fitness, acclimation to the Prem, etc., while to the rest of us, it just seems like he's kind of past it. The worst part about it is that Giroud doesn't seem past it at all. In fact, he seems to be having a major resurgence right now, not just with goals, but more importantly, with incredible link-up play and what seems to be a really good understanding with the rest of the Blues' attacking options. Higuain had a fantastic goal today. I will take nothing away from that. I was happy to see it, especially as a Chelsea fan. But what surprised me is that when he came off, he was super furious, and commentators seemed to think that he had a right to be furious because he had a good game. I don't think he had a great game. I think he played really well for, 20 minutes. But after that, he really seemed to slow down, and he wasn't making the right runs. They just seemed half-hearted. He never seemed like he was going to get on the end of anything serious. So again, I don't think he had a great game. He had a fantastic goal, but that's about where it ended. I think Chelsea need Giroud to finish this season as strong as humanly possible. Now is the time to get those last few results and continue the project with fervor next season. Just close it out. Thank you for watching today's episode of Reading Between the Headlines. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. If you wish to add anything, you can comment below, because that's how YouTube works. And from all of us here at the RBTH studios, and by all of us, I mean myself and Little broken Picard over there. Remember to live football and prosper.